I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds. About as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Yo, welcome back. I'm your host, Manan Sabir, the Grapevine, and we're back. We got a fill-in today. We got a fill-in just for a little bit. You know, my brother Ray Nitty, he's on the air. What's up, Ray?
What's up with you, man? Hey, get through your intro, man.
Hey, man, look,
let him know what you got. Yeah.
Listen, man, I couldn't wait, man. Hey, Ray is my guy, so anytime he requests something, man, I'm on the request. So yesterday, baby, Milwaukee, guess what? It was my birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy
July
birthday.
19th. I'm 48.
Hey, man. A lot of people don't make it there.
Hey, a lot of people. Hey, look, I got back to Milwaukee one day, man, last year, and I walked in, and it was some people that I knew that had passed away that were of my age, and then a bunch of other people. They had diabetes. Some people had cancer. So, you know, I'm lucky to be at this spot in my life that I can continue to preach and preach and prod so people can live a longer life. So happy to be here,
man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Happy birthday.
So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Tragedy and triumph is a part of life. Whenever we are going through tragedy, we want to be able to shout out folks who are in that tragedy, especially if you're outside of it. And Ray, during his section of his show, forgot to shout out somebody, and I know this person is pretty much important to us. And I'll let you take the mic so we can get that.
Yeah, man. I forgot to please forgive me. But if y'all know Von Mays, man, he's an amazing person in the community. If you know Von Mays, Von and his family experienced a house fire where they essentially looked like pretty much everything, lost a lot of stuff. And, somebody started a GoFundMe for them. So if you know Von's page, just wanted people to go share some love with him. If you could hit the GoFundMe, keep him in your prayers. And I say that because, I pulled up on Von like a couple of days ago and we were working on something, and in the midst of, we working trying to help somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I left Von, and then in the group chat I saw something. I was like, bro, You had a house fire? So we got people that's like dealing with so much and still showing up for the community, man. So just want y'all to keep Von in y'all prayers. If you know him, please reach out to him. Anything y'all could do to help him and his family, I'm sure they would be super appreciative. And I did ask if I could publicly speak about this before I just put his business out there.
Do you know what the I guess the limit, or is there
if it was a goal or something? I can't remember what the goal was.
Yeah.
But I'm sure whatever the goal they set is probably way less than what was actually lost. You know? So
there's some things that are priceless when in a fire.
Yeah. So I would say just reach out to him if you know him. Ask for the GoFundMe if you know him. If you on Facebook, his page is Von Mays. Just chop it up with him and send him some love, because we all know how much love he puts out into the community.
Real quick, let's talk about loss real quick. I know you got to go, but I just wanted to just talk about loss because I've lost a number of things, people and also things in my life. As of recently, man, I've lost things in my dad's and he accumulated in his last couple of years of his life. And, I know you've gone through a number of things in your life, especially coming over to America. Do you feel like you long for those things, or is it something that you can feel like you can get back and regenerate some type of trust?
Far as when you say generate trust where?
Trust where you'll be able to gather those things again, gather those priceless things again?
Man, I think some things just lost forever, unfortunately, right? I remember I went back home. I went back home to the British Virgin Islands, and it was my fault. We left the car unlocked, and I had a ring that I had inherited from my dad when he passed away, and I brought it back to the islands to get it fixed, and it got stolen. You know what I mean? So it's like, despite we didn't have the greatest relationship, it was like, I never really got too much from my dad in general, but here it was, my brother was able to give me this ring. I'm like, okay, I can say I got some from my pops now. And some things is irreplaceable, man. Time loss, you know what I mean? I don't know how you replace time lost with loved ones.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of time with my family back home because I stayed away from home because of how me and my pop's relationship was. If you know my story, I grew up in an abusive household.
Right.
I'm in Milwaukee because I woke up one morning and saw my dad with a knife to my mother's throat. And that was her turning point where she was like, all right, we getting out of here.
Yeah.
And so much resentment for my pops at the time and not wanting to see him. It was like, I ain't going back home ever.
Yeah.
But so much was lost with that, times with my nieces, my nephews, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, people that I love, and now we all at this age, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's probably one of the most precious things we don't get back.
Part of my and I mean, I'm glad you here at least for this first couple of sections, because I was actually thinking about this on my way into the office today, was that when there was a young lady that was killed last week, her name is Kiana Pilska.
Okay.
And she was killed by her boyfriend. And you
Was
heard about that?
Was that the one
St. Francis.
She had just recently put a restraining order in or something like that?
Yeah, she had just recently put a restraining order on. And I know, I see from people that I know how it feels to live in fear of your domestic spouse, but then also the fear of running because they may find you. How in your case, when your mom ran, was she still fearful of being caught?
I don't know. I never asked her that. And that, that it makes me wonder now. I never took time to ask her. It's like, all right, I knew I was fearful. I don't know. Like, especially when we took the seaplane from St. Thomas to St. Croix. We stayed in St. Croix overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So at a point, I still had like a level of anxiety as a kid. Like, all right, we still in the islands though. He could show up here.
Well, that's only
you know?
an hour ride or whatever.
Something like that, 40 minutes or something, right? I feel like I didn't have the relief of the anxiety, like, you know, the loss of anxiety until after we touched down in the States.
Right.
And then it was like, all right, new beginning, new start. You know? So.
Yeah, we have a section coming up on Friday discussing domestic violence, and I'm going to have an expert, and he's going to do some demonstrations and stuff like that. But it's funny because as I'm discussing this information with him, we're going over the phone, we're trying to get the pieces together for his interview on Friday. This thing happens almost the next day, and it tears my heart open because we have individuals right here in America who are experiencing, well, right here in Milwaukee, I'm sorry, that are experiencing these types of losses. And, you know, my heart goes out to you, but also we have people who are now in the crux of living in fear. That's a very real state of affairs.
100%. And, you know, a lot of people all like to ask the question, why don't somebody leave? You know, why don't? And I think people ask them questions assuming that they're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like sometimes like we ask, you know, we make these assumptions without any real basis behind it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, why not leave? Yeah, people like, why not leave? You just leave. Like, it's not that easy.
You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have money for a seaplane. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to borrow it. To my mama. You know what I'm saying? Then we didn't have money for the plane ride from St. Croix to the United States.
Right.
And she traveling with the 2 kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of borrowing. You know, it ain't that easy.
And then you get to America, and then you have to do more borrowing.
Because you leave with just the clothes on your back and whatever your whole family fit into one plastic garbage bag that you tie up, and she put a ribbon on it and
to make it
check it.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, our check bag rolled through. It was like a garbage bag that was wrapped up because we was fleeing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So you see it, suitcases, Louis Vuitton suitcases, like, there go our back, mommy. Grab our back.
I got it, mom. I got it. And everybody looking
like Santa Claus.
Bag. You know that?
Yeah, this might do this garbage. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that was our reality for a while, for a long time.
Hey y'all, we're discussing loss. We don't have much time in this segment. Hopefully we can get Ray back on to discuss loss again, maybe in a later date. But I really appreciate you coming on and then also discussing loss, but loss in relationship to our friend Von Mays and how he just kind of bypassed his loss to work on other people's losses.
Straight up.
That's amazing. The benevolence that a person has in their heart to not even mention what they're going through in order to make sure other people are safe.
Like, you didn't hear about it online. He didn't post about it or nothing. I'm like, bro, I apologize. Like, I didn't see this anywhere. Like, here I am asking you for, you know, ideas on this certain thing that we working on, and he's showing me his vision for his building. They got a beautiful building now on King Drive, and in the midst of all of that, he ain't even talking about what his reality is.
Right.
Because in his mind, he trying to build a different reality, not just for himself.
Right.
For a lot of the young people in Milwaukee. And, you know, them the peoples I like to rock with, man. People that's like, yo, this is bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times people don't see they just see what we smiling. We smile. It's a lot that we not smiling at too.
Yeah.
But we got to continue to press forward.
It ain't just shut up and dribble.
Correct.
Hey, y'all, we'll come right back. We're going to talk about my birthday and being the canary in the coal mine and how black people are leading the way in this community when we get back in 3.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop to the beat, y'all, and you don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all.
Yes, yes. I'm your host, Manan Sabir, the Grapevine. Thank you for picking these grapes, Ray. I really appreciate it. You and Shannon. I didn't shout Shannon out, but our worldwide Shannon. glad she was in the building. Y'all had a dope show. Yo, listen. July 19th was my birthday. I just turned a good 48. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. That's right. Good 48. 48 years around the sun. And I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't a big party. It wasn't a big to-do. I didn't have anything super big. But I spent a part of it in solitude. I was able to do a lot of walking. I was able to do some thinking. I bought a journal. And a part of it, I spent it with people who actually meant something to me. So, I'm feeling really satisfied. But what I really wanted to acknowledge is the fact that within that solitude, I was able to set intentions. So a part of my Monday motivation movement Monday is I like to challenge people. I would like to challenge people, really challenge people into learning how to set intentions for yourself. I think the power of intentions is underrated. If you start something, you don't just start it, right? You start it because you want to do things for your life, for other people's lives. In reality, if we are not setting intentions, then it's hard to get to the starting line. Once we set an intention, you are at the starting line, ready for the gun to go off, the proverbial gun, right? So I was able to reset what my intentions were from even my last birthday, even last summer, even last winter. I needed that mental real estate. To be able to have mental real estate is a part of life, right? You can't always live in survival mode. Where your back is against the wall, where you feel like things are coming at you with the help of a Mack truck, the speed of a Mack truck. Somebody said, I remember in this movie called Slam, and the lady who sung your song, she was like, my back is against the wall basically, and 10,000 bricks are about to be shoved up my keister. It's about to be shoved up my keister. I got a Mack truck. This is what racism feels like. This is what survival feels like. Being trapped in between a Mack truck in your face, headed down your face, and your back is against a brick wall. So being able to have space between the brick wall, yourself, and that Mack truck makes the world of a difference. So having intentions is the best thing for you. Having intentions is the best thing for you. Straight up. Having intentions is the best thing for you. So yes, you did see me walking yesterday, and I did have Mexican food for my birthday. Yes. So I think the goal, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I think the goal of setting intentions is to pride yourself in having a kinetic connection with your creator. A kinetic connection with your creator is one of the best ways to have a loving, not only loving relationship with your creator, but a loving relationship with yourself. That's super huge. A loving relationship with yourself. If you do not have a loving relationship with yourself, it's really hard to relate to other people. So, yes, I had a wonderful birthday. I appreciate everyone. So, Lamine Yamal. Yes, he won the World Cup yesterday with his team, his Spanish team. They won the La Liga and the World Cup, and he won the World Cup and the La Liga in the same year. He became the most talked about young man on planet Earth, not just for what he did with the soccer ball, but for a hesitation, one single hesitation in front of the president of the United States. That's your president, Donald Trump, that the whole world is still arguing about today. Today, we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down because that single hesitation made him look like he had a conscience, and the president of the United States did not. Straight up. And then we're going to talk about Milwaukee's own David Crowley jumping back in the race for governor, and his wife Erica giving a speech that I think I need Milwaukee to actually hear. And we're going to teach you what the canary in the coal mine means, what the canary in the coal mine really means, and why I believe that phrase exactly is exactly what black people have always been to this country. Literally, we've been canary in the coal mine for however long this country has been in existence. Black people. Then between 3 and 4, we got Milwaukee's own Mike Taylor. He's in the building. First player in the NBA history drafted straight out of the D-League. Still balling in Ice Cube's Big 3 and running a youth program right here in the city that's changing lives block by block. He got something going on in McGovern Park, and I think y'all need to Y'all need to tune in because this is going to be big. And then he's got a big call to action. He's got a big call to action with Ice Cube himself, NWA man himself, Mr. Friday himself, the barbershop man, barbershop producer himself. So don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere because we got him coming up at 3 o'clock. So it's birthdays, it's ballads, it's basketball. Let's get into it. This is the Grapevine. So before we get into any controversy, I just need you to sit with this, what this kid, Lamine Yamal, actually did. And he's genuinely historic. In the World Cup, Spain beat Argentina 1-0 in extra time on Sunday. And Lamine Yamal, 19 years old, he won 2 championships in the same year. That's crazy. 2 championships in the same year at age 19. Most players at age 19 spend their entire careers chasing one of the trophies. He's won 2 championships in the same year, and he's already being talked about as what we call the Ballon d'Or. He's probably a lock for that. Yes, he's probably a lock. He's probably going to have the sport's highest individual honor. And he did it all while playing with a target on his back. The entire tournament. He's the most watched teenager in sports history to date. Period. This man deserves a round of applause because not only is he a teenager, but he's conscious. And here's what makes him different from every other teenage phenom in sports. He didn't stay silent when it was time to protest. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't just shut up and dribble. He's not that type of person. Back in May, when Barcelona won their league title, guess what he did? He rode atop of the parade bus with a Palestinian flag and run in front of close to 1 million people. He posted photos of himself on Instagram. No press release, no hedging. He just did it. Now, if you are, and I'm saying all this to say, if you are a young person, if you are an athlete, if you are a person of influence that has mad athletic talent, we're talking about Motivation Mondays right now, Motivation Movement Mondays. If you are that type of person, it's hard to hedge. Make it known where you stand. Muhammad Ali did. But we have athletes who are afraid to chance. He basically tapped into what the canary in the coal mine means. He tapped into it. No press release, he just did it. And that takes something that even most grown adults with a fraction of its platform will never have the nerve to do. Never had a nerve to do. And they did it they won against a team called Argentina. And if you know any history of Argentina, I'll tell you after this break what Argentina means to soccer and what Argentina means to the world and how it affects you after these breaks in 3.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress,
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
One dream, 'cause it's that time. Let's go! Algeria, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bosnia, Brazil, Canada, Cape Verde, Colombia, Croatia, Czech Republic, Curacao, Congo, Ecuador, Egypt.
Yeah, we're back in the Grapevine. I'm picking some more grapes with you, and you picking some grapes with me. I appreciate you being here. We got Mike Taylor coming up real quick on the 3 o'clock hour. He's going to come in and talk about his big call to action with Ice Cube and what he's doing in the community. But first, we're talking the importance of being the canary in coal mine and what that means as black people, and how a young 19-year-old with the biggest platform in the world chose to use his purpose, chose to do something bigger than himself, knowing full well that it would draw criticism from some corners. And his name is Lamine Yamal. He was the 19-year-old that helped his team win the World Cup championship this weekend. So if you weren't a part of the festivities, too bad, so sad, because he did what he had to do, and they made it to the finals, and they won. They are part of Spain's young, very, very young team. And I think the oldest person on the squad is probably like 25 or something like that. So he's a 19-year-old. Most of them are 19, 20, 21 years old. And they did it. They beat a team called Argentina. If you don't know about Argentina, Argentina has a player by the name of Lionel Messi. Argentina also is a country in South America. Argentina also has one of the best squads ever assembled in the history of soccer. And Spain just beat them. But not only did Spain beat them, they had a young talent by the name of Lamine Yamal who used his platform in another venue as he won another championship to hold the Palestinian flag up, to stand up for people who are being oppressed. That's who he is. Young, 19 years old. So I saw this with my own eyes as Argentina and Spain went to the final bell, final whistle, Argentina got really upset. They started fighting. They started fighting with some of the Spanish players. But when they started fighting with some of the Spanish players, you seen what looked like a young boy, Lamine Yamal, kneeling and praying as the final whistle blew. And I want to be straight with you, Milwaukee. That's what I personally observed watching the broadcast. And I haven't found it independently confirmed by other reporting. So, I'm going to, by, the other news sources, they haven't reported on this. However, welcome to social media. As these guys are fighting, guess what? He's kneeling in order to praise him, praise God. He's kneeling in order to praise his creator. That's the poise of not just a grown man, but that's the poise of somebody who knows he's on a platform to deliver a purpose. To deliver a purpose. A young black boy. Just like some of you that are listening, just like some of your kids that are listening right now, using the talent that he has in order for the world to unify. That's what I mean by being the canary in the coal mine. He doesn't have, him kneeling isn't going to change the way some of those Argentinians feel about black people. Yes, I'm talking about Argentina right now because they have a history of racism, a big history of racism. They even got a burger called the Big Burger. I muted it because of the Big N-word burger. They have a history of the big N-word racism. Matter of fact, they got just last year when they won some sporting game on the bus of this particular of Argentina's team. Guess what they were singing? You wouldn't want to guess, but I'm gonna help you guess. They sung songs of racism, and guess who was a part of it? One of the best players in the world. He was singing right along with him. Singing right along with him. That's, hey, look, I can't make this up. You can't make this up. It was back in 2022. So Argentina's own players were filmed singing a racist chant, mocking Brazil, who has a gang load of melanated players. It's so crazy to me. It's wild. So, yeah, this is a very interesting kid. So Yamal is of Moroccan and Equatorial Guinean descent. And as he is they're performing the award ceremony, and he's about to receive his medal. He walks up to the FIFA president, that's the soccer international president, and he gives him the handshake, the homeboy handshake. All right, oh, cool, yeah, good. They're glad you won. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And then he walks up to the president of the United States, and you can see we got that clip pulled up. We pull that clip up real quick. Let's see, we get the clip of him accepting the award on the stage of the World Cup, and as he's accepting the award, let me know when you get that. Yeah, hear it. Yep. Okay. Yeah. As he's accepting the award, he walks up to the FIFA president. He gets the award from Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants a handshake, and he hesitates to give him the handshake. He looks him in his eye, and he looks down, and he hesitates to give him a handshake. Why? Why? Because not only is Donald Trump promoting genocide, but he is also a part of an individual. He's part of an organization that is bombing people that are close to him, that are close to this 19-year-old, that he had to basically play against his whole entire life. He comes from the slums. He comes from the ghetto, just like a lot of us. And he knew on that stage, from that moment on, that he had to be performative, but also be selective, and also suggest to the world that this is not a friendship between me and him. This is an award ceremony, and I'm gonna accept it, but you're gonna see how I hesitate to get next to this guy. You know, that's a part of being an independent thinker. That's a part of being a world-class superstar. 19 years old. He didn't have to, do something dramatic with your boy trying to give him a handshake. Nah, he didn't have to do that. He was able to give people what a sportsman is supposed to be like, but he was also able to use that platform to protest his disagreement, to protest America's involvement in destruction of other lands. That's what he was about. That's what he did. So here's what I think is really very interesting is some analysts chalked it up to nerves. Nah. I don't think it was nerves. I don't think the hesitation came from nowhere. This kid has already shown you exactly where he stands on his platform. So we didn't need him to confirm it in a press conference. We didn't need him to post it on his social media. We watched it with our own eyes. We watched it with our own eyes. Because when he had, look at how he met King Felipe. Minutes later, his whole face lit up. Huge smile. Huge smile. Look at Spain. Look at Spain. Spain became a nation that defied airspace to the United States so they won't be able to use their airspace to bomb another place. This young kid has already shown you where he stood. So it wasn't just nerves. It wasn't just nerves. It was deliberate. We needed somebody to do that. And other athletes who are invested and who are at that game didn't, and other celebrities didn't see that. They didn't. But we did. And they need to take note, because this is not just going to happen once. This is going to happen over and over again to this guy until he's out of office or whatever. Hey, y'all, when we come back, we're going to take a few callers on the Grapevine. We're going to pick some grapes with these people in 3 minutes.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Here's what I want you all to do for me.
Back. Yes, we're back. Welcome to the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir, and we're about to pick some more grapes. I'm glad we're here because of the fact that we're going to talk about, we were just talking about Lamine Yamal and what he meant to the sports connection worldwide, and how standing on a purpose as a sports superstar means a lot more to your legacy than what you can imagine. And then also we want to discuss what a canary in the coal mine means as it relates to Black people, and how that plays into politics and where we go in Wisconsin, especially Milwaukee. Well, first we want to take a caller. Al, what's up?
Well, the first thing, we're not going to pick no grapes. We're going to bust these grapes. Have you ever drunk extra dry gin and threw around a bunch of belligerent words like you had an El Dorado Boris with a flying goddess outside for beer?
I don't drink.
Okay, well, the moral of the story is the real reason they keep picking on Black people because they don't want to go after the Moby Dick of the ocean. See, the people who got the power and the people who's making the United States look like tricks and little nickel whores, they never go after. So they want to pick on some people who from birth have always been a loving and kind spirit. Because if you was going after the Moby Dick of the ocean, the bear in the woods, or the Loch Ness monster who keep coming through the toilet like you gotta obey, or dubay, or whatever you call it, it wouldn't be Black people. Why you think that is? Why you think that's a beer? They don't want to go after the Moby Dick of the ocean.
I don't know.
You're gonna say it? It's because they wanna They wanna put aside that the people that's making the United States look like a fool is the Jews. Okay? So think about it. And I'm going to speak up for white people. I never do this. White people will sit there and goo-goo gaga, make all these little racist growths, but still want to climb in your bed. They will sit there and take on the whole thing of slavery. But you ain't never heard none of these racist white people say, well, don't put me all on it, because the Jews had their hand in it too. Why you think that is? Huh? You wanna wipe the history, but if you proud to be of a white European, you would say, don't put all that on me, when the Jews had their hands all in it. So that's why I'm asking. Why pick on people when you can go after the Moby Dick of the ocean? They're not going after the Moby Dick of the ocean. And have you noticed it there? No matter how much they make they watermelon jokes, they fried chicken jokes, or they ignorant jokes, they still want to be you. They still want your skin color. They still want your happiness. Hell, if they could, they would cut off your penis and put it onto theirs. That's why during history, when black people would die, they would take the man's penis and put it on ice and use it as a trophy. So you tell me, why do they keep picking on black people when you should go after the Moby Dick of the ocean? That's my question to you.
Man, I appreciate it, Al. I'm about to answer it right now, but I got you. Thank you, Al. So I think what we're discussing, and Al, you know, as brash as Al can be, the reason why I'm in the position I'm in, the reason why my father accepted Islam is because my grandfather he experienced one of his friends being hung back in 1908 in Arkansas. His friend was accused of flirting with a white girl, and my grandfather and him were together at a general store. He was accused of flirting with a white girl. White girl went back to her family. Her father went. It was on a Wednesday. Father went to the Wednesday, church service with his boys, nighttime church service, and he asked the pastor if he could go and if he could see the boy. The boy was about 12 years old. And the pastor ultimately gave up the boy to the white gentleman. The white gentleman then the pastor closed the doors, told everybody to go inside for service. And after a couple of minutes, my grandfather ran back out of the church and found his friend hung in the church tree with his penis in his mouth. That story was not told to everybody. And the reason why I found out that story was because my father asked my grandfather why he didn't go to church. And although he probably went a couple times, went with my grandmother, but my father was not even exploring any other faith or anything else. He just was out on the streets doing his thing. And guess what? He then understood what American history was about. He understood what it meant to be a black person in America. He understood how people would treat him if he continued on the path that he continued on. So he wound up becoming a political activist, school teacher, martial artist, and a Muslim. Doesn't mean that, he was trying to tell everybody else to become what he was, but that was his defiance. And that's what I mean by being the canary in the coal mine, being the person before I get into politics. I want to teach you something really quick, and I'm going to teach you something about being the canary in the coal mine before we get to our next section with Mike Taylor, because I don't think we're running out of time. But the canary in the coal mine means it's a literal coal mining, quote. And the canary in the coal mine, quote, means that miners use caged canaries down in mines with them because the canaries are way more sensitive to gases like carbon monoxide, you name it, than humans are. So if the canary got sick or died, that was the miner's warning to get out immediately. So before the gas got to them first. So the canary would feel the danger before everybody else. And my grandfather was being the canary, he was microly being the canary for my father, because my father sought out what could possibly hurt him later on. And he developed his own legacy. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Develop your own legacy. So shout out to David Crowley. Right. Shout out to David Crowley. I want to shout out Erica Crowley before we move on to something else. To Mike Taylor. Is Erica got on stage and she gave a speech Milwaukee needs to hear about. She told the crowd she wasn't thrilled when people started calling, asking David to reconsider, but she flat out said the answer was no again and again until they prayed for a sign. And it's not a subtle one, but she saw a cardinal, a real signal to their faith. And then right after that, Rodriguez dropped out. So that's the story she told in front of a huge crowd, that faith, family, and the decision that wasn't made lightly made it easier for them to jump back into the race. It made it easy for them to become a candidate in the Wisconsin governor's race. So does that mean that they're going to win? That doesn't mean that they're going to win. Like, that's not the guarantee. But what I want you to understand is that when you feel as though there is a canary in the coal mine, usually you are right. And usually in this country, no matter what you believe in your politics, Black people in this country are usually the canaries in the coal mine. Where we go, the country goes. When we come back, we're going to talk to Milwaukee's own Mike Taylor. He's in the building, and he has a call to action involving Ice Cube, Mr. NWA himself, Mr. Big Three himself, Mr. Barbershop himself. Mike Taylor is in the building. I don't want anybody to go anywhere because we're going to come back with him. So get your cheese, get your
what?
Get your cheese, like peanut butter, jelly sandwich. Get some cheese on your sandwich. That's what I'm going to finish. Sorry. And come right back to the Grapevine in 3.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkuprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
Yes, welcome back. I'm your host, Manan Sabir, and I'm the host of The Grapevine. I'm your guy. Welcome in. Yo, we got Mike Taylor. I think I come off like real raw sometimes. Man, thank you so much, Mike. Hey, yes, sit right there, my brother. How you doing, sister? Doing good. Y'all look just alike. Okay.
I get it, bro.
Yeah. Man, put those headphones on for us real quick. You got them headphones? Okay. All right. Mike Taylor is in the building. Born in Chicago. Raised right here in Milwaukee. John Marshall.
Hey, don't say that too loud, man. I represent the mill. You hear me?
Represent the mill. Okay. Hey, I got a lot of family in Chicago, so you need to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. I was born there. You could drop me off anywhere on I-95, I'll get you to wherever we need to go in Milwaukee. I can't say that going down south. I can't say that going to Chicago. I moved here when I was 3, so Milwaukee, all I know for real.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know, you went to John Marshall High School, took the junior college route, landed at Iowa State. I remember that. And eventually became the first player drafted out of the D-League. First player in history drafted out of the D-League. And you was taken by the LA Clippers in 2008. Yes, sir. Since then, you played professionally around the world, Poland, Lebanon, Qatar, Korea, Libya. Man. You became before landing and all that, before landing with the Big Three. Yes, sir. Like, Take us back to John Marshall. And what did the city teach you before the rest of basketball world ever got a look at you? Speaking to the mic real quick.
Yeah.
You can adjust it.
First off, before I even start, man, I want to give honor and grace to the Most High.
Yeah.
To the ancestors.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Those who came before me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors, the indigenous black and brown people who came to this land willingly and unwillingly. Those who was made in his likeness and her image.
Yeah.
You know. That's just how I start off everything, you know. But going back to Marshall, I mean, 2000, you know, I was a little skinny kid. You know what I'm saying? I was about 98 pounds.
Oh, wow.
5'2". You know what I'm saying? And, you know, grateful for my mom. You know, I grew up without my father present in my life. I knew him, but, you know, his absence was a big void in my life, and I didn't understand. So by the time I got to high school, and it's 9, 10 years old, when I was heavily filling that void.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, I always had black coaches.
Yeah.
So they saw something in me, but I didn't understand how to accept correction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So going into Marshall, I thought it was my way or the highway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, basketball for me, man, it's been a journey. It's been a journey through self, you know, and I've been able to learn a whole lot about, you know, myself and about life through this game and giving myself to this game. Like, basketball became my father. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was my teacher. It was that place of refuge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To where it didn't matter what was going on in my household. It didn't matter what was going on in my community or my neighborhood. Basketball for me was that outlet. You know what I'm saying? And nothing else mattered. But, you know, going back to Marshall as a freshman, you know, I had the talent. I had the speed. I think that was, you know, growing up, all my coaches used to be like, man, you got a motor. You got a motor. But that was just based off of, you know, my mom put me in so many sports. Like, I can remember, like, basketball was the last sport I played. I did karate, taekwondo, you know, soccer. I thought for real I was going to be a soccer player. But I think those sports, like, helped me with my footwork, coordination. Like in soccer, you know, you gotta really cross over their lower body and their body to get that ball around them. So with that footwork coordination, then I played baseball. That was the hand and eye coordination, right? And I was real good at baseball. We played football. We played POW, everything, right? Police Athletic League. We played over there on a park on North, like, right over there where the Pick and Save closed now, right? Park right now that they kind of developing right now. They redeveloping that area, but that's where the POW was back in the day. I was on the Jaguars. Shout out to Dupree Fletcher. We would meet every year in the championship with flag football, but then it was that. And I think all of those sports kind of helped build me to be the basketball player that I was.
Right.
Right.
You know, I was just talking to one of my guys, and we were just talking about that. And if you are a young person right now, and just talking to the audience real quick,
yes, sir,
is that if you're a young person right now, if you're a parent right now, this is the section of the Grapevine that you need to listen to, because of the fact that if you are a parent and you think pushing your child towards, a lot of parents think pushing their child, especially now, towards this hyper-focused way of sports where they only just playing one sport. They're playing one sport. They're training for that sport. And all of that, that is one of the worst ways that you can develop the well-rounded athleticness of your child, of a player. Because majority of the athletes that are high-level athletes, such as yourself, have played every sport, and not only have they played every sport, but they're actually really good at those sports. You said basketball was your last sport.
Yeah,
like man. Soccer is one of the best sports to play. Swimming was one of the greatest sports to ever join. To be able to to cross that line, that sports line, helped you with whatever you were able to focus on. Bo Jackson,
for sure.
Deion Sanders,
yes.
You name it. David Justice, Daryl Green, LeBron James, Kobe, you name it. All those people were great at other sports. They just chose basketball because,
it's most attractive.
It's attractive. You probably grow 5-6 inches in the summer.
Yep.
Yeah, coach is like, man, just come out and play with us. And then you start dunking a basketball. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I might as well try this.
Yep. And I think that the cross training, right, and being able to participate in other sports, I think that's good because a lot of kids, they take it too serious early on, and you get that burnout.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
to
let's talk about that.
Where you lose the love of just the game and learning and growing in the game.
Right.
Right. Like, I think it's healthy to do that because, once it becomes a business, when you start to go up in these ranks, now that's when the love, and you got to repurpose yourself. You got to rededicate yourself to your why.
Right.
Like, man, why did I even start this?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to go back inside and be like, oh, it's for the love. So let me just get back to the fundamentals. Let me get back to the basic and do it just off the strength of the love, because I'll be doing this regardless because I love it.
So, so basketball became the replacement for before, I guess, during the time that you kind of started missing that black male figure.
Yeah.
Like you start to become conscious of what everybody or some of your friends had and also didn't have. But you start to become more conscious of like, man, these guys go home to their families that are coaching me, but and now I got to go home to my mom who has to work and take care of whatever she got to take care of. You went to JUCO. You went to the through the JUCO path.
Yeah, I think. But before we get there, I kind of wanted to just jump on this real quick. I think, it's crazy because I had these conversations with my mom, and she was like, my mama was the parent that was like, if I don't know they mother and they father, you can't go over their house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was ironically like I didn't have my father.
Yeah.
But everybody was coming to my house because they know we was going to hoop.
Yeah.
Sun up to sun down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in order for me to go to their house, she was comfortable with them coming to our house because she trusted what we was doing in our house, right?
Yep.
But I was in houses to where, like, my best friends, like, they had their mother and their father.
Yeah. They sit down at the table.
Have real dinner.
Real dinner.
You know what I'm saying? But it was kind of ironic, too, because they didn't really appreciate their father. Like, one of my friend's father, he taught me how to drive a stick shift because his son didn't want to learn.
So he like, come on,
I'm
Mike.
up. I'm hearing the bacon frying back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing I'm hearing the pancakes. I'm smelling it. I'm up. I'm up in there. I'm in the kitchen with them, like just talking to their parents while they still sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was those lessons, and that's what I was missing in my household.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes, basketball became that, you know what I'm saying, that things, but it was like these lessons in life that was like, man, this is even more of why I'm missing this and why I long for this fatherhood, you know what I'm saying, or that relationship in my life. So, I mean, I realized that, I didn't know that it was trauma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now I'm able to see it and understand it, that it's a lot of us in our community that's chasing this sport, but coming from that lack of, when that love, like this is what I be saying when I'm mentoring these kids, it's like when that love is missing in the household, we seeking that validation from anything.
Hey, y'all,
you know what I'm saying?
When we come back, we're going to talk about the validation, the love, and also what Mike thinks about mentoring kids in Milwaukee and how we can make a greater impact in relationship to his relationship to the Big Three. And later on, we're going to talk about Ice Cube and his friendship with Ice Cube when we get back on the Grapevine in 3.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents. For more information, search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Okay, I can't stop now, won't stop. Last time I checked, I'm 10 toes down, run it up and then invest. I'm looking in the mirror, really him beating on my chest. Then look at my agenda like what's next. Getting off, I'm doing my
and
thing.
we what's next. We got what's next in the building. We got Mike Taylor, NBA player, Milwaukee talent, Milwaukee community engagement advocate. You got it all going on. You got MikeTaylor.com.
Man, you know.
Number 88.
I'm just working, man. Milwaukee, what it do? Hey, listen.
Tell people
Y'all heard
about
it through the grapevine first. You
That's
hear
right.
me?
That's
Let's
right.
go. What we got, Manon? Let's get into it.
Through the grapevine.
You hear me?
Tell me more about those echo monitors you were talking about at the break.
Oh, man. So, I graduated from Marshall. You know what I'm saying? I'm a MPS alumni. City Conference Player of the Year in 2004. So as my basketball career was coming to an end overseas, I was just trying to figure out, how I can be a change agent for my community.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be able to use my story, because being the first person ever in NBA history to be drafted from the D League, the G League now, and coming from Milwaukee, I faced everything that these kids are going through. You know what I'm saying? Like gun violence,
being
violence
broke,
is heavy. Come on now,
mom,
poverty.
Yeah.
Come on now, like we can go down the list and name, you know what I'm saying, the traumatic environment that we've been in, right? But a part of the goal for me was to make it out, but come back. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so many other brothers that has made it from this area that I felt like if I could have broke the illusion of the big industry before I got in it and got blindsided by, just the corporate world and not understand how to move like a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And move like an entity. It would have helped me along the process. You know what I'm saying? But, I figured it out. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm back. And I'm ready to, pour into my community. Right, the ones that got the opportunity, the talent to have the opportunity to play collegiate basketball and then go on to professional basketball, to know what that process is like before they get in it make a whole lot of mistakes and mess their career up and have so much stuff that they, that hinders their process, right?
Yeah.
And then those who, like, for me, it's a gift and a curse. Not everybody is blessed to go play collegiate basketball. It's one in 10,000 high school athletes make it to go play collegiate basketball.
Yep, and
right?
not more because now they got those NIL deals.
Man, it's so much, and they bringing back players from Europe that have been playing for 6-7 years. That's 23 years old, and they bringing them back to. So the high school player, it's slim to none. Like, you really got to be ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like holistically. You got to be ready for these industries that we walking in, and a lot of the time we just see the highlights.
And we dealing with kids with ankle monitors on.
Right. So going back into Marshall High School in like 2017, I'm just going on GP just to show love, but speaking to the athletes, the boys and the girls, and it's 4 athletes with ankle monitors on. At least 4. Hooping with ankle monitors on. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in Washington High School for like the last 4 years. I've been in Brown Deer Middle School and High School the last 4 years, and you can see like the trend of, what the pandemic has done. What the Kia Boys has done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To our community and to our youth. They think that this is fun now. They not really into sports how my generation, like how we was growing up, and we was into sports and we was into, fashion and into culture. Like, we was the cassette tapes and the CD collectors. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had those things that we collected. They collecting guns and collecting bodies and trying to collect. You know what I'm saying? Who
Right
can
now,
steal the most, right?
There's a phenomenon of kids designing guns. They're designing not just the mechanics of the gun, but they're designing the exterior of the gun. They're painting the guns. They're naming the guns. They're putting things in place where they are looking to use the guns. They're looking to use them as tools. This is a part of their utility belt.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they're the ghetto superheroes.
Now, I mean, and that's like not to condemn or say anything about that. I just think it's the, restoring part that kind of got to be dissected just a little bit more.
That's right.
So being able to understand and see where they at, right?
That's right.
Because we had our things that we was doing.
Yeah.
Right? And my mama, you know what I'm saying? She was saying the same thing. Like, man, what y'all doing?
Right.
That ain't music.
There's certain things
that ain't this.
Certain things you done that she's just now finding out about.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like 100%. At 40, I'm just now having a, you know what I'm saying?
You grow on the kahunas to be look, this will happen.
For sure, right? So I think, you know what I'm saying, with that awareness and that understanding is where I can meet them on a level and kind of redirect that energy, because like you say, man, we black ghetto superheroes.
Right.
So that energy, what we put that energy into, it manifests in real time.
So you jump into, you go from JUCO, you go to college, you go from college, D League to the league. It was a rude awakening in a way. In terms of the business of the NBA,
of basketball, yeah.
I'm pretty much sure that you could play right now. Then you come back to Milwaukee basically, and you have this vision. But within that vision, you start playing for Big Three.
Yeah,
Ice Cube.
Shout out to the big homie Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was overseas for 16 years.
That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
You out of touch.
I mean, a little bit, but I would come back in the summer, so I have like 2-3 months to get as much in as I possibly can.
Yeah, but you right back out.
I'm right back out of there. And
bag still packed.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Living out of suitcases for a long time. But I believe that experience overseas, that developed me into a well-rounded person, right? Being able to see culture unlike the culture that I grew up in, it opened my eyes. So, it is a such thing as peaceful living.
Yeah.
It is a such thing as like good-spirited people.
I got to hear gunshots?
Yeah, you don't have to. I ain't got to lock my doors. I ain't got to make sure that the door is locked. You know what I'm saying? When I get out the car and come in the house. You know what I'm saying? I can trust that if I got $20 that's been in his armrest, it's gonna be there in the morning. It may be a note on the windshield like, "Hey, you left your doors unlocked." You know what I'm saying? Like that was an actual experience that I had. You know what I'm saying? Like you left your doors unlocked. Like your lights was on. I turned your lights off. Like, man, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But we don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Here, looking at it, you stop at a red light here, you looking over your shoulder, like you don't know what's what. You know what I'm saying? So being able to have that peace, that serenity, you know what I'm saying, is something when I came home, I wanted to start to build community and being able to take some of those experiences and start to seeing how I could create, you know, this vision that I had to build like a real community that's built off love, that's built off respect, that's built off the morality and the ethics that's kind of been lost along our process as we've been adulting, as we get into the everyday, you know what I'm saying, transition of everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So
you developed a Mike Taylor Foundation.
Yeah, the Tailor-Made Foundation.
Tailor-Made
I
Foundation.
put my last name first.
Yeah,
I put my last name first. Like again, man, my mom was like, man, this super change agent in my life. So she had this nonprofit organization called SHAC back in the day, like 1992, 93. And it was called SHAC, SHACC, Striving for Higher Achievements in the Classroom and on the Court. She seen me and my guys in the neighborhood. You know, we had this undeniable passion for basketball. But she was like, if they had that same passion for their education as they have for that basketball, now they'd be successful black men.
Yeah.
Right? So we was locked up in the church on Sherman and Center.
Yeah, I remember
there.
that. Yep.
Yeah, we was in there, and man, we learned about Stokely Carmichael, Huey P. Newton, the principles of the Black Panther, Malcolm X, Madam C.J. Walker, George Washington Carver.
Right.
We had to, you know, do these studies and learn about our history before slavery.
Wow.
Right. We Matter. Shout out to Matter, Channel 14.
Yeah. Yep.
We had our own TV show. We was talking about our current, you know, what we was going through as teenagers at the time. You know what I'm saying? But they also taught us how to edit. They taught us how to do the microphone, sound check, everything, right? So the kid like myself, I was always like the class clown. Like I could talk in front of anybody.
Right.
So I was the one that was in the mic asking questions. We was going to the Indiana Black Expo, going backstage, just interviewing the guests and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I had those experiences, you know what I'm saying, 9, 10, 11 years old, right? And I feel like, you know, video production, that's why I went to John Marshall, because of video production.
Right.
Right. I was in the IB program, the video production. So coming up with this literature series, I had to tap back into my youth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I wouldn't have gave it all to basketball, I'd have been doing something with a camera, with telling a story, narrating something. But then I created my own story by being successful. So I done packaged that up into the indomitable legacy of the Underworld GOAT.
And that's what we have right here.
And that's the literature series that I got.
I'll hold this up for people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it's another book that's missing, that's I'm developing now, and I'm getting these published before this school year start. But it's another book that's a workbook. And, you know, on my healing journey, man, I've been doing a lot of restorative justice. I've been certified in restorative circle keeping. Right. So in this book, it's social emotional learning. It's restorative justice, a whole circle. Right. And that's kind of how I started off with honoring the land. And that's that's where that come from. You know what I'm saying? And then just tapping back into my childhood, just having that understanding of these ancestors and these pillars in our heritage. Right. It's bigger than culture. Right. Our culture is just contagious. You know what I'm saying? But our heritage, that goes eons. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep. That's your, and I feel
Yes,
like that's your, as a black man, it seems like that vision is being played out through the Tailor-Made Foundation. When we come back, we're going to dig into the healing, but then also what the 3-on-3 tournaments look like at McGovern Park.
Yes, sir.
And then also we're going to have a call to action between you, the Big Three, and Ice Cube, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get into it. We'll be back in 3.
Wisconsin State Fair turns 175 this summer, and we only get better with age. Join us for 11 days of fun, iconic traditions, grand champion moments, and food that's absolutely worth the hype. Celebrate 175 years together and get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th. We'll see you there.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot fast and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Milwaukee, your weekdays have a new rhythm. Start your mornings with conversations that matter.
Again, I'm the legendary Homer Blow, along with my girl,
Bailey Coleman. Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman. Weekdays, 7 to 9 a.m. Then keep it locked with the voice of the community.
And the more you know and the more skills you have, the more training you have, the better off your community is.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, 9 a.m. to noon. Lunch is on us. Turning up your midday vibe.
It's your boy Ray Nitty and my co-host Maybe Shannon.
It's the lunch break with Ray Nitty and Maybe Shannon, noon to 2 p.m. And don't stop there. Keep the conversation going with the Grapevine with Manan Sabir.
That's right. I'm your host, Manan Sabir.
Bringing the stories and voices you need to hear, 2 to 4 p.m. Then we're closing out your day with energy. Lots of it.
It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct.
Tap in with Jazz Tyler every afternoon, 4 to 7 p.m. Your home for Milwaukee Conversations. The award-winning 1017 The Truth.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Each year, Nielsen releases its Black Diverse Intelligence Report for a look at the latest trends for Black audiences. This year's report follows a pattern that shows that Black viewers continue to dominate traditional TV viewership and remain a big driver of success for content across platforms. The report also found that Black consumers are way more likely to do business with a company that they believe shares their values. Charlene Polite-Corley is VP of Inclusive Insights at Nielsen.
If you think about the African-American tradition in particular, there's a legacy of, voting with our dollar, really. And that's evolved, of course, over the years. It's gotten more complex in this modern economy. But there are some really interesting case studies that we highlight in the report of people standing on their values, standing by Black consumers, and that having a direct bottom line impact.
Brands that didn't pull back on diversity over the last several years have likely been rewarded with long-term loyalty from Black consumers. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Manan Sabir of the Grapevine. I got Mike Taylor in the building, Milwaukee's own.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's own Mike Taylor of the Tailor-Made Foundation. And Mike, you run a 3-on-3 youth league at McGovern Park.
Yes, indeed.
Tell me about that.
Yes, indeed. So the Tailor-Made Foundation's 3v3 Safe Summer and Wellness League, right? So we're not just out there playing basketball. We also, talking about wellness and what that looks like for ourselves and using basketball as that tool, as that catalyst to kind of talk about, the everyday hustle and the everyday struggle that we go through here in Milwaukee, right? I think, like I said earlier in the show.
It's competitive, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little competitive, but, it's the sport. So we gonna make everything that we do competitive, right?
Yeah.
But we want to use basketball to emphasize community, emphasize teamwork, right? So I don't let them come and get their own teams. I separate the teams based off of the talent.
Yeah.
So if you're really good, you're going to play against somebody that's really good. If you're okay, you're going to play against somebody that's okay.
Right.
And if you just now learning how to play, you're going to play against somebody at your level, but it's all going to be, in that team concept, right? So now it's going to force you to communicate because you can't just pass the ball to somebody and they think they're going to score, right? Now you got to be a leader. So those kids that are better, now you got to be a better leader. You got to be a better communicator, right? Those kids who are just learning how to play or just okay at playing, it's their second or third year playing, you got to kind of pick it up a little bit, right? So I think being able to have that for the youth, but we also, we do wellness walks out there. McGovern got the lagoons, it got the apple orchard out there. Like, I was a kid riding my bike all through there, so I know, but these kids don't know that, right? And then just introducing them to that healing, that natural healing of nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got that. We be having the sound bowls out there, putting them through breath work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to expose them holistically. Basketball is only that physical. Right. But you also need this balance, right? To just be more aware of this journey. Not everybody is going to play for their high school. Not everybody going to play in middle school. Not everybody going to be at that level to, play the sport and be talented and gifted like that.
So
right?
You have how many teams?
So I do 5 years old all the way to 17.
Girls and boys?
Girls and boys.
Whoa.
Also, I got cheerleader. I got cheerleading coach out there. So the girls who don't play sports or don't play basketball as a sport, we got cheerleading out there for the other young ladies. It's really a family affair going on the 5th year. You know what I'm saying? So, so I got all of those age groups, and it's about 6 to 8 teams each age group. So we got from 5 to 8, we got 9 to 12, and then 13 to 17 to 18. Right? So it's about 6 or 7 teams each, and they playing half court 3v3. They got about 2 subs, and, we out there every Tuesday and Thursday.
So if you guys, what time?
At 4 p.m., at 4 to 7 p.m. We feed them and everything, too.
Tuesday, Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m. at McGovern Park. If you are in Milwaukee and you want to see individuals, please come with your best peace-loving self at McGovern Park. If you want to see little kids, our kids, in our neighborhoods, because those age groups are the age groups that where during the specific period of time don't have anything to do. So between 4 and 7 is a definite period of time when kids don't have anything to do. So you took that lull period and you created a 3-on-3 basketball tournament with kids from the neighborhood that's being affected the most by societal issues.
Yes, indeed.
So let me ask you a question. You in Ice Cube, called you one of the highest scoring players in the league.
Yeah, man. Ice Cube, man, like, again, bro, like, shout out to Ice Cube. That, like, playing in the Big 3 changed the course of my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being overseas, my kids never really got a chance to see me play. My family never really got a chance to see me play.
Right.
Like, see me develop.
Yeah.
So being able to be back in America, playing on a national, we be on, you know what I'm saying? We was on CBS.
Right.
We going into a different city every weekend. It's a tour.
Yeah.
So being able to be around some people that I got drafted with, some OGs that, you know what I'm saying, I learned a lot from when I was in the NBA. So to be back in a presence of, you know what I'm saying, that talent changed my life. And then when they came to Milwaukee, this kind of how a lot of my like revamping my foundation came into be, because I was in that big three, right? So when they came to Milwaukee, I threw a block party here from on Burla, from 9th through 11th in Burla. Like, they stopped the buses that day for me to do the block party. And I had the basketball out there, I had the boxing ring out there, but 2019 is when I did that. And on that day, I was honored, you know what I'm saying, by the city. So Mike Taylor Day is August 4th, and it's actually doing Bronzeville Week, right? That's Bronzeville Week. Yeah. And I got a day for my community outreach, but it was all because of the big three.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I bought my house, you know what I'm saying, off the big three.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, I got nothing but homage for Ice Cube, that league, and everything that he was doing, even though I should be playing this year.
Right.
But I didn't get picked up. But, man, I love the whole thing. Because, you know, growing up, we had Hoop It Up. We had Gus Macker.
Yep.
I got so many trophies with that. So I understand that concept. And Milwaukee basketball is like that street basketball. That's that culture. But having a professional league before it actually became, you know, Olympic sport.
Right.
Like Ice Cube, a genius. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, what you and Cube, I know you guys talk you know, more often than not.
Cube is a down-to-earth brother. Like, if I text him right now, he gonna respond.
Yeah.
You know?
I know you're working on some things.
Yes, sir.
I don't know at what level you can say those things, but what is, when you think about Ice Cube, he always has a call to action. What would be your call to action with Ice Cube? Because I know you got some things coming up.
I mean, my call to action would be is, big homie, Cube, listen, the community outreach, I need you. I need not just, you know, here in Milwaukee, but it's every state. It's a city that's similar to the demographics that Milwaukee got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's take this thing on a national tour. You know what I'm saying? The community outreach and going to these communities that don't get the service, don't get the support, don't get the notification, to being a voice for those voiceless people.
Right.
To bring them that hope. You know what I'm saying? To bring them that energy that they need to, you know, be a presence, a healthy presence in their community. Right. So I think, you know, my biggest thing is like, you know, let's come together through the sport of basketball, through the game. You know what I'm saying? The basketball, let's bring the awareness, putting that unity back in the community, and start doing these youth, you know what I'm saying, leagues. Right. The young three, right? The big three, the young three.
Ooh, that's really
good. You know
good.
what I'm saying? Together, and let's take that on the tour. So somehow, in some capacity, I want to be like the head of the community outreach for the big three, and then being able to tie those efforts. For me, you know, I'm always going to bring it back, you know what I'm saying, to the city, but being able to tap into those other relationships and get the recognition that I feel like, you know, what the game has done for my life, right? And so many others, right? If you ain't made it to the NBA, or you haven't made it to the NBA, right, you once had a dream. Right, being black and brown, you wanted to play basketball because that was like one of the most attractive things for us. Right. It was either dribble the basketball or rap over a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man,
that was that thing. So being able to, you know, use my platform, that's what I want to be able to do, is use my platform to be a change agent for these communities, bro. So,
hey, y'all, when we come back, we're going to talk about what's next, and also rapid fire questions with Mike Taylor. Let's see what he thinks about Milwaukee. We'll be back in 3.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousin Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online. or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousins Subs, we believe in better.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. Looking to discover, support local businesses in our community? Then make sure you tune in every Friday at 8 a.m. to Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Homer Blow for What the Business Is, powered by We Energies. Each week, you'll hear from local business owners as they share what their business is, where they're located, and one valuable lesson they've learned along the way. We Energies is proud to help power local businesses and the communities they serve. Don't miss What the Business Is every Friday at 8 a.m. only on Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Homer Blow, powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. And UW Milwaukee Roar Program. At UW Milwaukee, students don't have to wait until college to start building their future. War Ready lets students in K through 12th grade join in hands-on programs across campus, from science and tech to sports, arts, and more. Students try new things, meet new people, and build skills that matter. Get started today at uwm.edu/warready. And we're going to go hit the chat, Mike. We're going to hit the chat real quick.
Let's do it.
We got a couple people on the chat, and I didn't hit the chat today as much, but let's see. We're going to hit the chat. Mike Taylor, let's go. Shaky says, Mike Taylor, let's go. At what age did you first experience burnout in your athletic life?
That's a good question. I don't think I really reached it until I understood the business of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a good question. I say in college.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was diagnosed with bipolar when I was in junior college.
Mm-hmm.
And, we talk about mental health, but we don't talk about it in a way that, we're able to start being more aware, because it's a lot of our families that kind of go through these mental health crises,
right?
And the children are affected by it,
right?
So that played a huge part. And then my best friend died in a car accident. Rest in peace, Devin Venerable. He died in a car accident my last game at Iowa State. So I'm seeing them sell out the stadium, the Hilton Coliseum. I'm watching my jersey being sold in the bookstore, and my lights getting turned back out here in Milwaukee. My mama going through this mental health crisis with my 2 younger brothers in the house. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not getting paid. They getting NIL now, but I wasn't getting no NIL. You know what I'm saying? So that everyday life that we go through, I reached fatigue, and that's why I went to the G League. I was like, man, I'm seeing them make money off me. How can I make money off me? You know what I'm saying? So that was like my first real time of like burning out. You know what I'm saying? And then it was just like a rededication to the game, rededication to myself, right? Because I stopped going to class. Like, I lost my scholarship at Iowa State because I stopped going to class, because mentally I was going through what I know now, survivor's remorse, and being the only one out of my people. You know what I'm saying? I have 4 of my friends that I went to high school with died of gun violence, and 1 died in a car accident. You know what I'm saying? So my entourage that I would have had when I was in the NBA was no longer in existence.
They were wiped out,
and a few of them they couldn't lead a state. They couldn't lead a state.
There's a lyric that that Redman said in one of his rhymes. He was like, something to the effect of, wipe the whole front row of your funeral out, and like usually that doesn't happen, but it happened to you. And that's real burnout. I remember experiencing it, man, as a martial artist. Sometimes you recognize that you're not burned out until you take a step away. And I was just talking about mental real estate earlier, that mental real estate, you don't recognize you need it until you got a brick shoved up your backside, right? And you're like, man, I thought I had it, but in reality, it's almost too late.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's bigger. It's a bigger ball game than what we think it is. You know what I'm saying?
So the next goal is at what age? Okay, it's amazing how you can grow and put in perspective where your trauma lies and the deficits that you had. That's true. And somebody asked, Happiness Donut said, is it true that Cube is a MAGA supporter? There may be a conflict.
No, sir. No,
personally,
sir.
From his guy right now.
No, sir. No way. Hey, whoever wrote that comment, man, go do your research on who Ice Cube was, man. Ice Cube wasn't going with the grain, never. Rap career, his movie career, everything been independent, and he been, you know what I'm saying? But I think these are conversations. He's not afraid to have these conversations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to, tell them to come to my table.
Yeah.
And have a seat, and let's have a conversation so you can hear his narrative and where he come from and where we come from. So he do a great job with, you know what I'm saying, being able to lead some of these conversations and take the risk.
Can we invite him when you get a chance?
I'm gonna do my best, man. I'm gonna do my best to try to get him.
Or we'll go out to him.
You know what I'm saying? Or
we'll go to him.
That's even better.
We'll go to him. Tell him we're on our way.
Yes, indeed. Most definitely. Definitely. I'm sending this link straight to him. So as soon as it, you know what I'm saying, get to me, I'm gonna send it to him, and I might fast forward it to the call of action and be like, Cube, check this out.
Hey, Cube, we're gonna talk to Cube. Cube, listen. This is the Truth Radio in Milwaukee 1017, the award-winning Truth Radio 1017. Yes, we're trying to do, we always do, call to actions, and our call to action is to provide our community with substance and growth. And then also you and I were talking about how we have gun violence that isn't stopping. We already know it's here. It's in many other communities that are having facing societal issues. I was just talking last week about the young girl Jade Reiser, who was murdered off of Burleigh July 2nd, who was shot on July 2nd, but was pronounced deceased on July 7th, and she's a 9-year-old. She was 9. And, she was shot and understood that this was a very high stakes traumatic thing that happened to her in the moment. Later passed. What when you look at things like that, real quick, we don't have much time.
I think I don't know, like, I know the violence prevention, we got this handle here in Milwaukee, but I think we need to start something to where it's like we can plant a tree in their honor, something like that, and a bench, right? So the family can have something. The family, the people that, you know what I'm saying, let their legacy still have a chance to live, even though they died in this physical, this physical realm.
Yeah.
Let their spirit be able to live on.
Let's do a garden. Let's do a garden, Cube. Bring. We need attention to this. They didn't even find the killer. Wow. The killer's still out there.
Yeah.
So somebody need to turn them in.
Yeah, for sure. I know Milwaukee, man. Y'all listening, man. Y'all know somebody is not snitching, right? To bring justice to the family to a lost one of gun violence. We gotta start, having a little bit of that's community right there, being able to protect our own, especially these babies.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Real quick, we don't have much time, but I definitely wanted to ask you 3 questions. They're rapid fire questions. They're really mild. No explanation, yes or no's. Milwaukee or whatever you played against or wherever you played overseas, best food, real quick.
Best food.
Yeah.
I would say Mediterranean food.
John Marshall High School, still your alma mater, pride, yes or no?
Of course, yes. Marsh House.
NBA or Big 3?
Big 3.
Hey, y'all, give us where we can find you.
Man, I'm on Instagram, 88 Mike Taylor, TaylorForAll.com, the Taylor Made Foundation, MKE.org. You can find me on there. Hit me up, man. I'm accessible. I'm touchable. I'm reachable. And I'm at the King Center. I do a lot of programming out of the King Center on 16th and Valete. I got a mural outside that building. Check it out. I'm in there. Shout out to Miss D, the director over there at the King Center, man. Love Milwaukee.
Yes, and Milwaukee. I spent my birthday in solitude with people who matter. I got to watch a 19-year-old remind the world that you don't have to choose between greatness and conviction. We talked about a canary in the coal mine. We talked about a family praying for a cardinal. We talked about a Milwaukee legend coming back from overseas and making noise in a local park, McGovern Park, with his 3-on-3 basketball tournament, Taylor Made Foundation. You're not just an unapologetic person, but you are a change maker. Not just you, Mike, but everybody else in this world. If you are listening, change your life today. Set the intentions. Be the best person you can be. That's the show. I'll see you next time. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Milwaukee. See you next time. Peace. Tap in with Jazz next.